I'm gonna
important.
go ahead and do this. Absolutely.
All right, so, hello, Lisa.
Hi,
It's
Gabe.
really nice to see you. A lot of what I do, with EFT now, it's all based on the positive side of things because we all know everybody's stressed out in the world. We're one step ahead of that, where we deal with chronic stress on a daily basis.
We do.
And all this chronic stress is what people call my daily life, and we don't address the stresses. We just let it linger, fester, and create chaos in our lives. And stress kills. It is what it is. I didn't say that. It's not new news,
Right.
So, de-stressing before we get into, like, say, an EFT, round or two or a session is so important because you want to be able to bring your brain waves down. In other words, relax your brain from the lightning storm that's already there. You want to bring it down to a very relaxed state. And it's your brain, so why wouldn't you want to do that?
Absolutely.
And I say that to everybody. It's like, if your brain is fighting you and saying, no, I don't want to do this, you got to be able to step up to yourself and say, no, we are doing this. I don't like this anymore. So I'm going to shut it down. And when we start to de-stress, our heart plays a big role in this. So we got to be able to slow the brain down to jumpstart the heart. And that's important because our heart is the brains of the whole operation. Again, I didn't invent that. This has all neuroscience facts. And what's wonderful about it is that at the neuroscience biochemical level, meditation at this level literally cures people. Literally. Okay. I don't say that either. Again, there's overwhelming evidence about this. But we're not talking about curing the big diseases. We're talking about de-stressing because 90% of the people in the world are just freaking out about stuff that they buried under the carpet. And a lot of it has to do with the truth.
Absolutely. And isn't it true that go ahead. I kind of lost my train of
No,
thought there.
tell me. Go ahead.
I know I just lost it for a second, but it'll come back.
If it comes back, just drop it in there. Yeah.
Yep.
Being honest with ourselves is an elevated emotion. And we've embellished. Go ahead, tell me.
I did get it back. Yes. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I need this today, apparently. But the more that we de-stress with a breathing exercise or tapping or all the other methods that you have many, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So the more that we do that, I do believe that the degree of illnesses would be much fewer. Because I believe with stress, you actually are creating inflammation within the body with those emotions.
Yeah,
right?
we are. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely right. There's just a lot to be said about the overwhelming evidence that exists on how one thinks and one feels creates physical problems, and then from there, over time, it creates disease.
Absolutely.
So, my focus is on the prevention of that, right? Like, we know that we're stressed out people. Anybody who says they're not stressed out or stresses out about something or has hypersensitivity, these are all stress responses and cues, and they become part of our behavior patterns. They become part of our identity over time. We become this which we think and feel every day. It's just no debating that, right? So this rehearsal that we do, 90% of the people, we're just rehearsing, bad vibes that we learn to rehearse. That's all it is. So before we get into like the physical pain with EFT, before we get into like disease, and real like deep and profound healing and spiritual connections with EFT, you gotta understand that the one thing that everybody needs immediately is, how to bring your brains down, how to shut down your stress response. That is so important. I will continue to emphasize that because a relaxed brain now, okay, signals the heart, all that energy goes to the heart, and the heart literally starts to beat in a rhythm that correlates to your brain. And the more we do this, we create what's called heart and brain coherence. In other words, we are in alignment with ourselves. Stressed out, our heart and our brain are not communicating. When we are relaxed and de-stressed, our heart and brain are aligned. And the brain, the heart is the brains of the operation. The heart literally has, and again, overwhelming evidence about this in the neurosciences and the biochemical sciences. The heart literally has about 80 million, I think it said, or 40 million neurotransmitters where it stores memories in the heart. And the heart signals the brain to let it know that it's safe to create. That's why it's so important to de-stress. Because if the brain is not, if the heart cannot communicate with the brain, we are literally self-prophesizing our pain, our diseases, and every other miserable thing that happens to us. So it's a simple choice. De-stress because you can, and I'm about to show you 3 very simple steps that are not just proven, but they've been around since as long as humanity has been around. So as silly as it may sound, these 3 steps come from a renowned, scientist, Dr. Greg Braden, and he is 40, 50 years studying humanity. And he says, this is the best way to de-stress like this. And I agree because I've used it. Yeah, I agree because I have used it. So here's how it goes. I'm just going to put my fan a little bit towards me because it's hot in here. I hope the sound of the blaze don't bother anybody.
No, in fact, I'm going to mute myself so I don't end up with any background noise.
Oh, I don't hear anything from you, honestly. Yeah. Okay. But I might want to hear you anyway.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So heart and brain, heart and heart activation breathing exercise, it all begins with your hands because your touch is so important when you put it on your heart. You could, I like to do it like this, and this is just comfortable for me. But some people, they can use one hand, either hand.
Yeah.
Some people stroke their heart, and the reason why this is important and it must be done is because when people say, I have a hard time feeling this or that, when you touch yourself, it is indisputable. You just felt your heart. So this touch, your own body, your heart knows it's you, and it will allow you to connect with your heart. And it's important to do that because of the next steps. So we put our hands on the heart. Now the breathing is going to be done in a very simple way. We're not even going to do any kind of counting. We're going to do, I just did this with Marcel today, and it was perfect for him because he was going through confusion about count 7, count 4, and I was like, no. You want to create a breathing pattern like an ebb and flow. Water going out, water coming in. And water is actually a very beautiful thing, very cathartic, very pacifying. So your breathing is going to be done through your nostrils, inhaling, and it's going to exhale as well. As you establish a nice ebb and flow of your breathing, and you start by closing your eyes, and you just go ahead and start taking a nice unforced deep breath up. You ebb, and then you hold it for 1 second, and then you flow. And you exhale, and you empty out the lungs all the way out, unforced. And then you come back, and you bring it all the way up, and you hold it, And then you exhale. All the way out. And then you bring it back. And you keep this rhythm nice and comfortable. And you want to feel your breath going through your heart. And you hold it. And then you exhale again through your nostrils. And you continue this rhythm. And on your next breath, I want you to think about the first thing that you're grateful for. You take that big, deep breath slowly, purposefully, deliberately, all the way up to your brain. And you hold it. And then you let it go. And as you're ebbing and flowing, visualize that which you're grateful for and feel it. Be with the gratitude. Gratitude is an energy, an elevated emotion. It's wonderful. And everything that you're grateful for opens your heart more to receive everything that you deserve. So you take another deep breath. And squeeze your diaphragm and bring it all the way up. Squeeze your stomach and you hold it. And visualize a second thing that you're grateful for. And be with that. Embrace it with your breath. Surround yourself with this grateful thing that you see in your mind. And keep your ebb and flow nice and smooth, and you keep that breathing going, and you go, and you think of a third thing that you're grateful for, and you hold it right up in your mind and visualize it. See it, experience it with your breath. And exhale. And just love the process of your breath going through your heart. And then you feel grateful. And you exhale. And every time you exhale, you're releasing all that negative energy from your body. And every time you inhale, you're bringing in all that great energy up to your heart from Mother Earth. And it feels great as you visualize what you're grateful for. And your heart is loving you for this. And continue your breathing nice and gently and unforced. Squeeze your diaphragm, squeeze your stomach. Visualize what you're grateful for. Embrace it with your breath. And when you're ready, take another 2 or 3 more nice, even, ebb and flow breaths. Feel that breath going through your heart. And when you're ready, come into the room. And you open your eyes and just be with your breath and sense your body. And when you're ready, we'll talk. Take your time. Be with you. So important. So what we've done here is we've created heart and brain coherence. And you will feel your energy flowing. You will feel your brain relaxed. And what that means is that your breathing generated a 0.1 millivolt of electricity on your heart to jumpstart it. And that electrical charge moves your heart into coherence with your brain because you release all that negative energy as you're flowing out or ebbing out. Flowing out. And as you ebb back in, you're bringing in all great energy, all that gratitude energy and all that elevated emotion. All the chemistry goes to work in your body, your neurochemistry, your biochemistry, and it aligns your heart and your brain. It allows you to feel relaxed. So now, if you have an emotional disturbance, and we start to tune into that, even if it's something really bad, and let's say it was, let's say, you were bullied at the office by a supervisor who humiliated you in front of somebody or the whole department. That sucks. And you're carrying that resentment, that shame, that anger, you're carrying any other emotional disturbance. Now that you're relaxed, you can address that. You can address it because your heart is open for that. And your heart has signaled your brain to say that you are safe. So important to be able to sustain a relaxed brain or mind, understanding that you are safe. And because you are safe, you're able now to address and accept, an energetic shift of the emotions that keep you feeling stuck about something. So, like we've done with the tapping, you start with the karate chop point, and you can say, even though I feel angry, and it really made me angry because, my supervisor just went off at the mouth, and he was having one of those days, and I felt so embarrassed. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And what we're doing here is we're activating, or we're tapping on one of your meridian points. These are energy points of the body, and it gets your energy to flow. It gets the anger energy to flow out of your body, and you'll feel it. You'll start to feel it flow because you're addressing it. It's you, it's your life. So you're being compassionate. You're showing care. You're showing gratitude for yourself to address it and release it. And once you have this energetic shift, you start to reduce that emotional charge to zero, so that you can actually totally release it and repurpose it back into the heart. But you want to be able to now tap to the positive side. This is where, even though I no longer feel anger, and it really feels great, I want to know what it feels like to feel empowered and not have to tolerate anything like that again. I want to feel confident. I want to be able to tell my boss, kiss my beans, if anything. But I want to stop being afraid and being bullied by this person. And we tap in this, and what happens is now we're communicating. We are creating a new blueprint of our confident self, which literally biochemically signals every cell in your body to tell your brain, your paradigm, this is the new program. We do not fear this man anymore. We are stepping up for ourselves, and we're going to do it the right way. We're going to go legal, but we're going to let this person know, you cannot bully me anymore. You cannot take my energy. I am a confident person. And that's what positive tapping does for us. It allows us to finally shift over to that version 2.0 of our greater selves. But it's a process which is going to violate every single BS you know. Yes, the bullshit and the BS belief system. Because we're built on bullshit. And, that's not a bad thing to say. We're all adults. We can call it anything you want. Chocolate chip cookies. We all have chocolate chip cookies in our lives. But at the end of the day, this is something that we bury under the rug. And we create our own difficulty in life. So when we start to address it and release it, our brain starts to really thrive, because now our brain has the energy. It needs 25% of your 100% body's energy. So 25%, 75% from the neck down. But if we are busy with our monkey brain, our lightning storm, worrying about this and having the down spiraling emotions, we drain our brain so fast of energy that it goes into a lightning storm. This is what high beta, freaking out, anxiety, panic attacks, and everything else, worst case scenarios come from. And then we don't know how to stop it because our sympathetic nervous system is all, jacked up. And it's like we drank 10 Red Bulls and we took, whatever else. And the only way to stop that with absolute certainty is to right away splash a lot of cold water in your face. That's the 1 second stop the stress, the panic attack, and everything. That's the 1 second response, solution. Splash a lot of cold water in your face right away because it stops the brain. Or you stop because you're conscious enough to say, wait a second, I'm not going to allow this to bug me because it's like a runaway train now. I'm going to take my breath. And you take that breath, you right away, and you hold it, and then you release it, and you create that ebb and flow. You create it right away, because how can you not want to do that? This is you, this is your life. So don't allow your brain to run away. Nobody's perfect, you're not broken. 90% of the people on the planet are not broken. We're just starting to become more aware of the fact that we have behavior patterns that do not serve us well. And it is not easy to recreate a new behavior after 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of our lives. But it's simple. It's simple because all we have to do is think and feel alike. That's a vibrational match. And express it in gratitude or any elevated emotion as if we already have this experience. Don't wait to fall in love with somebody in the future, meet your future mate to feel love. You want to feel love now before you meet that person. That's called drawing the experience to you. So this is how the brain works. If you're feeling sick, draw the experience to you as if you're not sick. Your brain doesn't know the difference, but it's that powerful that if you insist on feeling great, that's the energetic amplitude that it requires to shift that energy. Because we get stuck in, oh, I'm feeling sick, I'm feeling grief, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling this. We keep pushing down our energies. Of course, our brain's not going to react. But when we stop it, we are literally giving it an energetic amplitude that has to be greater than how you feel. And if you're aware of that, you don't like the way you feel, that's what you got to do. It's okay to do that. You're not going to hurt yourself. Had enough. One of the greatest things that I heard from Tony Robbins is this. If anybody knows the Tony Robbins story, I'll tell you one of his young stories when he was younger, when he used to have to run to work miles to go to work because he was broke, he didn't have money, and then run back home at night, and he was running miles to and from work. And every night and every time he ran home, he would yell incantations in his mind, or out loud, actually. Okay, now I have some healer friends in the community that I work with that they are shamans. Irish shamans, mystical stuff, black magic, or not black magic, but magic, Irish magic, things like that. Very nice. Incantations is part of what they do as part of healing. But see, incantations is no different than affirmation. It's no different than this and that. The difference is this, that an incantation lets you know that the louder that you express it, the higher the energetic amplitude to make that energetic shift in your brain. Your brain needs a boost to be able to be able to react. Like, I had enough of this stress, and I'm gonna get you out of my head, man. I'm gonna get back on track. And this is the kind of warrior attitude that sometimes we got to do, but you gotta want to do it. That's the only thing. You gotta want to do it every day, and love doing it every day. See, this is not hard work. This is the good news. And a lot of people stop doing it because they figure, oh, I'm not doing it right. Well, let me tell you, the fact that you stopped doing it means that you were doing it right, because you have been telling your body, I'm changing you. biochemically, neurochemically, and your body is resisting. And that's why you know it's working. Every time that you stop because your body convinced you to stop, you got to understand, you got to tell your body to sit and take it. Because it's a biochemical addiction. That's all it is. And your body will acquiesce. Your body will actually listen to you eventually. This is why meditation is so powerful. And you want to be able to sit your body down for 3 minutes and just do what you say. Don't think, don't do nothing but breathe as I observe my breathing, as I am with my breathing, as I put my heart in a coherent rhythm, one that is peaceful. If you have a peaceful heart and a peaceful brain, you can create anything you want in your life. We learned to despair. You don't have to be afraid anymore. Just surrender to the love that exists in your life, and you will see the magic happen. Just do it. Just do it. And that's the 3-step.
That's amazing.
breathing.
Now, I just have a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
No,
So if you do that breathing, and I feel extremely calm right now. I feel
that's
very
good.
calm,
Me
calmer,
too.
calmer than I have all day. So that's amazing. And if you just concentrate on that breathing, get it down. But if you get to that calm state with just the breathing,
Mhm.
would you recommend going into the positive tapping and or meditation?
Well, that depends, right? So if you're not overwhelmed by some down-regulated emotion, if you're not overwhelmed by anger or a feeling of shame or guilt or whatever, then yeah, go into the positive tapping. Absolutely. Why not? You're in
Yeah,
that stage. You're like, all
you
right,
just want to register
I
where
want to
where
put it on
you're
me more. Yeah.
where
You
you're
see,
at. So if you're still upset about something,
then you want to,
obviously you want to go into the regular
exactly.
tapping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you want to diffuse it some more,
Mhm.
reduce the charge, get yourself to a balance, a homeostasis, get yourself back to stasis, balance. And that balance is already there, it just needs to move. And
I
you,
think this
Mhm.
may be very, very important to do prior to meditation too, because I mean, that relaxed state is what makes us listen, or,
Right.
don't you
Sure,
think?
absolutely.
Yeah.
This is just very simple, just breathing for 3 minutes, but in terms of meditation, this is effective if you go a longer period of time. In other words, if you go 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, listening
Wow.
to binaural frequencies. So I always recommend 432 hertz frequencies. I recommend the oh my goodness, I have so many numbers. The 693 frequency. These are healing frequencies. Healing frequencies. Let me get those numbers for you quickly.
Yeah, I always wondered what all those numbers
528.
meant.
Yeah, 528 frequency. You have the 432 that I mentioned, the 174. There's the God frequency, which is I forgot what it was now. It's like the 900s or something like that. But it's all public information. What I'm saying is that, during meditation, right? It's okay to do silent meditation. But see, everything is based on energy, all right? So our thoughts are energetic, our emotions are energetic. And as we are having that clear thought, clear intention with that elevated emotion, gratitude, I'm going to earn, 10 grand this month. And I feel really good about that. And I'm so grateful, God, thank you. And I know I have this money already, as if, okay? We're generating a frequency that this is a vibration that has a specific frequency. And it's measured. Gratitude is measured at 540 hertz. And this has already been proven by brain scans, by, again, overwhelming evidence by neurosciences. love, for example, bliss, all of these, and I have a scale I can show you of all these emotional frequencies. So as we're vibrating, okay, this is the language that the universe speaks. The universe doesn't speak just words, right? Because words carry vibrations as well. And that's why it's also important to keep it positive in language, because the words spoken, they come from the thought. We thought of the word, we verbalize it. But on the way down to become speech that we can listen to, okay, it's vibrating in our throat. That vibration carries, again, a signal, and that information with the thought, with the emotion, with the as if intention, everything on a frequency out to the universe. So the brain transmits all of that. And the heart draws the experience back on that frequency. That's why it's so important to be a match. You can't think, I'm going to make $10,000, and I believe it, I'm excited about that in 1 month, but your body's feeling lack, like it doesn't really believe it. That's not a match. So this is why as if is so important. You want to feel it before it happens. Doesn't matter if it didn't happen yet. Why do you care? As long as we rehearse these 3 little things, our brain, first of all, is opening up the neural pathways, creating the neurochemicals, it's creating the synaptic connections, it's creating the whole neural community that conforms to this amazing, great thought and feeling. And then it signals the body, and the body biochemically correlates and says, oh, well, we're making 10 grand next month. This is great. And it starts to create the proteins, that signals the cells in your body, and your body starts to, get all excited, and your heart is now pumping with a lot of great energy. And it's a whole factory of, wow, this is happening. Just because we have the thought once is not enough. We got to have this constant desire embellish in it. First of all, again, because it's never going to hurt you to mentally rehearse all that you desire and deserve in your life. If it's good health, let's say you're dealing with a lot of, let's say, back problems, and you haven't been able to get rid of it for 10 years. Well, first of all, there's an emotional root cause. But secondly, if you practice the I am healed, I don't have this pain anymore, and you practice with the EFT, and you practice with the meditation, and you practice with the visualization. Because remember, I mentioned, as we were doing the breathing, I said, and visualize what you're grateful for. Because all of that works together. All of these are elemental components of the greater result. And that's what we're doing it for the result. The result is, I don't have this back pain anymore. I do have that 10 grand, because all this energy that we're transmitting and drawing back to us, we are receiving the experience based on coincidences, serendipities, that stranger that knocked on your door. Maybe it was a family member who just came by and said, hey, by the way, and here it is. All good things start to happen naturally because we're rehearsing this thing. We're creating this reality, and it is a reality. Mm-hmm. If you believe in a anger, stressed out, sad, depressed reality, again, based on thought and feeling alone, we create that reality. So create the good one.
Right.
And as you're doing it, it'll happen. Just don't despair. The moment we despair, we just got off of Faith Street. God doesn't deliver any packages when you're not on Faith Street.
Right.
You got to be on Faith Street. So don't despair. Just keep doing it every day. Every day.
This is exciting. This is
exciting
news.
It's your life.
Yeah.
Get excited about it. Nobody's excited about their lives because, again, we learned that the hardest, deepest, one of the deepest ingrained beliefs that we have, which is go to school, get a job, die.
Exactly.
So it's like, what do you mean I could be an entrepreneur? That's crazy.
We're all conformed what everybody is supposed to do.
Yeah, I can't do that. We don't know how to do that. Make my own money. Everybody's success is not measured the same way. Somebody asked me today, can you live on, or not ask me, but it was a thread that I was on, but can you live for the rest of your life on $1 million or something like that? And some guy was like, you need $1 million, you know, a month or a year just to live in New York, for example, or something like that. And I was like, okay, perception. That
Right.
means that response to me tells me that he really believes that. And maybe he has limited beliefs about money. But see, I chimed in and I said, you know, I live in Ecuador. I can live for the next 40, 50 years with $1 million easily here because it's not USA. And
Right.
the average monthly income in this country, 90% of the people in this country earn $426 a month. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. They work hard for $426 a month. They work 10 hours
Wow.
a day, 12 hours a day, sometimes 14 hours a day for
And
$426 a month.
isn't that crazy? And people
It
in the
is.
US
Right,
would, most
right,
people aren't even working
correct.
because they don't want to.
Right, because I'm not gonna do menial work. They work here for shift and they still work for $426 a month. So they're
Yeah.
not, they don't have the ego about that. They have ego for other reasons, but in that
Hmm.
aspect, they don't. Now, my point is this. I thrive down here, not because I'm an American, but because I'm a global citizen who has been involved with the internet for the last 30 years. And in the last 20 years, the internet really blew up. And in the last 10 years, you can monetize any skill that you have on the internet. And things have changed a lot since then. So I have learned to monetize and use the internet. I
Yeah.
teach Taiwan students. I work with EFT. I do binary options trading. You know, you gotta look for your
Whatever
economic
you
flow.
love to do, you
Right.
can literally,
Yeah,
whatever you love to do,
exactly.
whatever you can do all day long, and the
Exactly.
time just flies,
Right. So you see,
find
my
a
my
way.
teaching alone covers for my 2 times what they earn here. You know, and I
Hmm.
don't work hard with the Chinese. You know, I work 3 hours. I mean, not 3 hours. I work well, yeah, I work 3 hours a day, maybe, you know, sometimes four. And that's
That's
7 days a
nice.
week. That's
Yeah.
28 hours in 7 days. So I
Hmm.
do it because I really like doing it. It's been 5 years that I'm doing it. But now, you know, I do EFT and that's profitable, you know, but it's not about the money. You know, again, when we chase the money, we work hard for it. We're always repelling it. I don't work hard for the money because I'm not focused on the money. And I had to learn this the hard way. I I provide a service. I inspire myself to help others. I do good work. I'm knowledgeable. I keep improving on my skills. I try to help people out. And because of that, God blesses you. It's just that simple. But I
Yeah.
think about this every day. I embellish myself in this story. I am an
Hmm.
EFT practitioner. I am, you know, skillful in what I do. I read more about it. I talk to people. And I earn X because I do believe that. I don't doubt me. So I've been
Yeah.
generating this positive vibe. And I can attest that it is real because I live this, you know. The green screen is fake. Yes, this is my old neighborhood when I used to live in New Jersey,
Mhm.
you know,
This is, I've never been there, so
San
that's why it's
Francisco.
behind me.
That's San Fran, yeah. The Golden Gate, it looks like. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's what it's all about, you know. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
everybody measures riches differently, and what does being
yeah,
rich mean to you? And honestly, if you can find something that you really enjoy doing and you are giving a service to others without expecting, of
right.
course, you got to get compensated, but you always give.
Absolutely. We all do.
You always, though, you
Yeah.
do. You
Well,
you go above and beyond with your clients, and that's what makes you rich in your own way.
yeah,
So,
you're right, in my own way. And let me just really make it more specific. I don't work with thousands of people. You know,
right.
there's a lot of these people, you know, who want to work with the masses. That's great. I work with the masses, but not at a monthly basis. I only dedicate my time to 7 people a month, and
I
that's
was lucky enough
consistent.
to be one of those.
And
Yes.
that allows me to be able to give more focus time, more accountability, and help a person really understand and apply what they're learning for their benefit. And then it's continuous beyond that, because I'm constantly providing support different days for different people, and eventually it'll get to the point where it's like, okay, do I want to keep doing this? But that's all it's going to get to with me. I don't need 10 clients, 20 clients, 100 clients a month. I don't want to build the course and sell it to the masses, because I really strongly believe that people's stress is a one-on-one thing, and
I
they can
think you're
benefit
right,
more.
yeah.
I think they can
Mhm.
benefit more by having this humanizing conversation instead of being disappointed that they bought a course and they don't have this kind of support.
Right,
This requires
absolutely.
this kind of support. If you want to learn affiliate marketing, yeah, buy the course. That good luck with that one. But if you want to talk about your life, your stress, your heart, that's serious. You want to invest your time in that to heal properly, and it takes
For
a little bit of
sure.
time. And if it works for Army soldiers with PTSD or
Mhm.
war citizens who have been dealing with that trauma, again, EFT works on that too.
Right.
Overwhelming evidence on everything that I talk about. It's nice to be part of a very highly ethical, gentle, healing modality. It really
Yeah.
works. Really
Yeah.
works.
I'm super excited to share this with my group. In fact, this is so valuable. I believe I'm going to share it with everybody. So,
Sure.
and why don't you give yourself
The big
people
tip.
can get a hold of you by messenger if
Uh,
they choose to reach out to you
I was gonna give myself a big tip. That was better. Yeah, I'm on Facebook, stress relief for teachers. It's really everyone. But since I'm an online educator, I try to help teachers, but they don't want to be saved.
Why don't you send me your link and I will leave it in the details of this video in case anybody wants to reach out to you. But
Yeah.
I do plan on sharing this with a lot of people, and hopefully I can learn it as well as you're doing it and help people as well. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
okay.
I actually have no problem with that. Anybody can hit me up for a question. It's a
Awesome.
conversation. This is where people, and you remember that, right? I think I mentioned that to you in the beginning, way back with us. I said
Yeah,
it's just a conversation, but it's not an easy conversation for people. People really they struggle with, oh man, I gotta talk to somebody about my emotions,
I
about what I'm
know.
stressed about, and
I
and
know.
their heart gets tight, and
My
it's like,
husband was more
oh.
stressed about it than I was. What are you
Yeah,
going to talk about? What's wrong with
yeah,
you?
there you
It's
go.
like,
Exactly. And again, that's a learned fear response.
exactly.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
just try
I
to
am
approach it with a happy heart. Yeah.
I'm so excited with extra knowledge on this. This is brilliant. Thank you so much, Gabe. I appreciate
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
time. And I'm
Anytime.
just gonna end the recording.